Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 59 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I'm hanging out down here in my basement near all my power generation stuff, and while this might be a little bit of a risky proposition, I think I'm going to build something pretty crazy right down here. You can see I've got this nifty room all built up, ready to go. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to build here. Basically, I mentioned an episode or two back that I want to get ready to start being able to farm emeralds and villagers. And in order to do that, we're going to need a couple things. A really good and efficient way to spawn lots of villagers, or lots of any mob in anyway, is the mob spawner from Mine Factory Reloaded. So that guy is going to be pretty useful. If we take a look here, we can see the mob spawner. I think that's what it's called. It should be in here. Yeah, this guy. The mob, no, that's the counter. Let's see. Auto spawner, is that what it's called? Spawner, yes, auto spawner from Mine Factory Reloaded. So what that needs is a lot of mob essence. So basically, in order for this thing to work, we need some mob essence. And I'm going to sleep through the night here real quick, just so we can demonstrate. So an auto spawner is really cool. What it does is it takes mob essence, and you can give it a template for what type of mob you want to spawn, and it'll spawn lots of them. So you can, in general, if you have a lot of mob essence, spawn a lot of mobs. Sounds like a cool plan, right? So that's basically what we're going to do. So first step is we need to get a lot of mob essence. Now there's a couple ways you can go about doing this. Basically, anytime you kill any creature with a grinder, like we have up there by our animal farm, you get a little bit of mob essence. We've been collecting a bit of it for, just for fun. I mean, we haven't really been collecting it because our grinder kind of stopped, and you really only get a small amount. I think you get 100 millibuckets of mob essence per operation, per killed monster, so you need to kill about 10 things in order to get a full bucket of mob essence. So you actually have to do a little bit of work to get this stuff. Now, what I'm thinking about doing is setting up that cursed earth that I got a while back, filling it up in this room here, and I'm hoping, from what I know, it should be about a 5x5 area in front of the grinder that can kill any monsters in front of it. So I built this room 5 blocks wide, right? So if this can really kill a 5x5 block area, we should be able to put monsters in here. Now it can also go 5 across, right? So that's 5 there, and that's 5 there. So with this room built this way, with Cursed Earth, we should be able to create a nice environment to spawn monsters and then kill them with the grinders and collect both mob essence and a bunch of items from mob drops, like skeletons who drop bones and anything else that spawns in here. And I'm hoping, I made this thing 3 blocks tall so that we can have endermen spawning in here. And the plan being that if we spawn a bunch of endermen, we'll be able to collect ender pearls, and that will help with the little bit of a problem I have with ender pearl production at the moment. As you guys know, I've been suffering just a little bit in the whole ender pearl production environments there, so we're going to have to look at that. Now, there's a couple things we need to know about Cursed Earth. Let's recap. We made this stuff a while back, so if we take a look here, yeah, we've got like a stack of it. Awesome. We've got like 2 stacks of it. Double awesome. Remember, if you're going to be picking it up and placing it back down, you're going to need to use a Silk Touch tool. So I've got my Silky Touch little guy here. He's ready to roll. We're going to fill out this room. Now, 2 things. Number 1, we want to make sure monsters can't get out of this room. So there's a couple options that we have to make that a reality. We would also like to have, I don't know, a couple different things. There's a few things I want to put together here. Make sure monsters can't get out, and then make sure we have an on-off switch for this. The good news is that Cursed Earth, if in the presence of non-natural light, so basically anything but sunlight, something like a glowstone illuminator or something like that, we should be able to disable the Cursed Earth from spawning monsters. If it's dark, they'll spawn. If it's not dark, they won't spawn. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. So there's a few things we're going to need to figure out. So why don't I go ahead and get started with some of the stuff we're going to need to do to get this going, and then we'll be back once I've collected everything I need to collect, and we'll start building a really cool system that should work out well for us. All right, back in a moment. Alright guys, the first thing I want to make is this cool stuff called sandy glass. It comes from Extra Utilities. I'm going to make about, I don't know, let's say 10 of them. And if we go ahead and smelt this stuff up, what we should find ourselves getting is thickened glass. Now, thickened glass is all cool and fun all by itself, but that's not what I'm after here. What I'm after is dark glass. This stuff is pretty much awesome. I want to get at least a little bit of it, so we're going to need some more blackout curtains. Let's see, do I have any more wool in here that I can go ahead and request like 64 of maybe? Hopefully, maybe. We'll see if I have that much wool available somewhere. It should be back at the set up. It's just coming all the way across the logistics pipes here. So Darkened Glass, there it is. Cool. Just get a few more blackout curtains here. And then a few more pieces of Darkened Glass. I determined that I'm going to need about 9 of them, so I'll make 10 because even numbers and all that stuff. Darkened Glass is awesome. You ready for this stuff? Check this out, right? So as we can see, you know, we've got all this light right outside this doorway, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put these guys here. And all the light bleeds into the room. Now, we want this room to remain dark so mobs can spawn, but we don't want to have darkness out here, and we want to be able to see into the room to watch the mobs getting killed. So for that, we've got dark glass. Check that out. Ta-da! The room is dark. Dark glass can be seen through, so it is just regular old glass. However, it prevents light from passing through. So it's glass that blocks light from going. That is awesome. That is some cool stuff right there. So we're going to be using dark glass as our doorway to prevent mobs from getting out, and also to prevent light from getting in to the room. So that'll allow the mobs to spawn at, you know, full efficiency and everything. Very nice, right? So that's stage 1. And I think what I'm going to do with that dark glass is go ahead and put it in some drawbridges. So let's see. Can I make myself 3 drawbridges? Do I have the stuff for that? Well, we're going to need some of these. So we're going to need some of these. So 1, 2, 3 ought to do. And you go here now. 3 of you. I should really just teach my AE system how to make this. Aluminum brass ingot. Do I not have any aluminum brass ingots? I guess not. I swore I had some laying around somewhere. Let's just take a peek outside and see what we got over here. Huh. I guess not. Alright, well, time to smelt a little bit of aluminum brass then. Let's see. I'll be back in a minute once I get it. So the basic plan then, guys, is to place your drawbridges here. We'll camouflage them to look like stone bricks, and we'll put 3 of the dark glass in. The dark glass should work with its connected texture stuff with the drawbridge, so everything should work out pretty well with this. So let's see, we put this in here, we put that in there, and these guys in here, and then a simple redstone signal to get the ball rolling, and we should see some awesomeness happening here. So that's basically how our door is going to work. Awesome. So we'll be able to get in and out by flipping these levers. Obviously, I'm going to leave the levers there. That would be terrible. We're going to do something cool. What I'm thinking is a lever that goes on the wall, either here or here, somewhere like that. I don't know. We'll see exactly where we want it to be. That can basically both turn on and off the lights that we're going to put in here and open and close the doors here. So that looks pretty neat, right? Let's also get you and that. There we go. Ha. Cool. Alright, so next up we're going to need a couple other important things. We're going to need the grinders, and we're going to need some lights. I think the grinders will be one of the last things I do. And what the heck was that? Is that a butterfly? It looked like a butterfly, though why it was in my house like that I have no idea. I smell Enderman. Alright, no idea what that was all about. Honestly, I really don't know what that was all about, but I guess we'll see if it comes back. Alright, so where was I doing things, right? That's right. I need to get some stuff put together. What do I want to make next? Well, I think it's about time to break out some red alloy wire. Let's see. Red alloy wire. This stuff is the best. So I already played with this a little bit, as you guys can see. Remember, you craft it with red iron compound and all this good stuff. Let's use this along with some stone covers, I think. Oh, good, I have some of those too. And we can start messing around with the red alloy wire. So we're going to use this probably to hook up everything. What I'd also like to make are some lamps. So let's see, what kind of lamps do we have available? The most basic form are the white lamps from Project Red Illumination, which you guys have seen me craft already. What I'm thinking is, how do I want to set this up? So when a redstone signal is applied, the drawbridges will close. So we want the lights off. So if I went with an inverted lamp, then when the redstone signal is applied, it will both close the door and turn off the lights, making it dark. And then when we flip off the redstone signal, the lights will turn on and the drawbridge will open. That sounds like the way I want it to be, so I'll need a couple more inverted white lamps. So I'm thinking at least 2 more. Let's do 2 more just to be safe. I might only need 1. Boom. So we'll get this going, and we've got the red alloy wire, and that should be pretty much everything I need. Let's put it together. Bat form is kind of the way to go for this. So what we'd probably like to do is dig into the wall here. So is this, yeah, this is where we're going to be. So let's dig down here. So this is the drawbridge. 1, 2, 3, right? So 3 drawbridges just like so, and I'll even put a little torch here just to be safe for now. Okay, so these are your 3 drawbridges. So we're definitely going to want wires here like that. And then we can run this up here to here. So now when we flip the lever, we've got the drawbridges. So that's step 1. Step 2 will be lighting. So let's see, how many blocks wide is this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so if I did 2 away, like that, and we'll see, where do I want these lights to be? Oh, you know what, I should probably have it here, not there. Alright, so this looks like a pretty nice lighting setup, so this should keep the room well lit. So all we got to do now is run some wire up into the ceiling. So let's go up here a little bit. We'll probably want to go, what is it, 1, 2, something like this. There we go. Cool. Run our red alloy wire like that. And I dub thee a well-powered system. So now when we flip this, haha, look at that go, right? How cool is that? Turn off the lights, etc. Now the only thing is, there's one concern that I have. Possibly that turning on the lights, should I have that on a separate line from the thing? Should I have a separate lever for the light switch? Because basically what we're going to wind up with is if I flip this thing, there's going to be still a bunch of mobs in here. Like, it's going to take a few seconds for the grinders to kill the mobs, possibly. So if the mobs are still alive, they may start chasing me. So I might want to have one lever to turn on the lights and another lever to open the drawbridge. So I can wait until the mobs are all dead before I open the drawbridge. That's probably a little bit better of an idea. So let's get some stuff to help us out with that. We're going to need a bunch of string, I think, and probably a bunch of wool, and a bunch of other stuff. So let me get at least a few stacks of wool. And we can look at cables, bundled cable to be particular, and wires. So we're basically going to want wires and cables for this. There's a couple ways, obviously, that we could do this with Project Red or with any other project mods, like all kinds of stuff. But I'm thinking white insulated wire might be a good step. So how about for real quick, I go ahead and teach my system how to make the red alloy stuff. So we're going to need a few more blank patterns. Dun dun. Dun dun. Come on. Where's the rest of them? What are you waiting on? Glass. Okay, that's fine. So what we could say here is red alloy ingots are made from these. So teach it how to make that first. And then we'll make a couple. Red iron compound. I could probably need just 2 of them. That'll do. Let's see how fast I can be at this. Cool. 1, encode, good. You go in here. There we go. And then we'll say red alloy wire can be like this. And we can do some other wires. Like for now, I'll just teach it white insulated, just for demonstration purposes. I mean, I don't really have to teach it that. I could just make it however I want. I'll probably eventually teach it all of them, but at some point I should get a wool farm going. That's probably what I really should do. All right, so white insulated wire, as we can see. So let's just get some red alloy ingots. Let's do, I don't know, you want like 30 of them? That sound like a good number? Okay. So then I can get my wires. I'm going to go with, do I have any orange dye? I could probably get more of this stuff, right? The other thing I'm going to need a lot of is dye. So if I did this and orange, I could get myself a bunch of orange wool. Cool. And then I can get my wires. So I'm just going to get one set of 12 of this and one set of 12 of this. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to get another set of 12 of this, maybe 2 sets, that I'm going to use to create cables. So let's see, let's get this put back together, right? So bundled cable is awesome and useful stuff. Let's see, I should be able to now get, well, enough for 2. That's really not much, is it? Wow, that recipe hurts, huh? Okay, I'm doing pretty good on wool at this point. 19? Yeah, that should be good enough. And then I'll just get another set of 12 of this, and then we'll be cool. All right, so looks like I wound up with enough. So what I'm going to have now is 2 levers. One that turns on the lights, and one that turns on the door. So let me get out of here a saw, because I'm going to need some strips. That should be enough. So let's get, where'd my red alloy stuff go? I didn't use all of it, did I? I'm pretty sure. So what we're going to want here then is, let's turn the lights on for a minute. So we want to be able to have 2 levers here, right? That look something like this. So if we had this lever here. So there's a couple really important little details about how these wires and everything work. First off, bundled cable, unlike unbundled cable, cannot indirectly receive a redstone signal. So if we have this here like that, and let me just break this for demonstration purposes, and then we had this here like that, okay, the bundled cable cannot receive an indirect redstone signal through the wall, where unbundled cable can. So see how that's on? And then flip the lever and it's off. Right. So we need to have unbundled cable here if we want to connect to stuff. So that's an important thing to note. However, we've got these cables here that are pretty much like this, right? So what we can do, and I don't even know if I really need this bundled cable. I probably don't. But let's see. So if we wanted this to be the light switch, we could just do this with strips if we wanted to be real careful about it. I mean, I can show you the bundled cable another time when we want to do something else that's crazy. So if we cover this like that, and then we covered this like that, that would prevent those guys from connecting. So that should actually work without the need for any bundled cabling. So now this should activate the drawbridge, and these should activate the lights. Sweet. I like it. All right, that'll work. That's the bundled cable for now. It's a little expensive, but that's okay, I don't mind. So we can close everything up, so everything's hidden behind those covers, which are kind of like my favorite way to do things. So now the mob trap is on. We can turn the lights on, wait for all the mobs to die, open the door, go inside, do whatever work we need to do, etc., etc. Now I'm hoping that the Endermen can't escape too easily. I'm hoping that they'll die before they realize that they need to run. We're going to see. So for now, let's go ahead and start carving up the floor and get this stuff in here. So, something like this. And again, because we've got a natural light source currently active, we shouldn't have anything to worry about with the mobs spawning until we're ready for them to actually spawn. So, do I have my fancy builder's wand here? Yeah, that'll help. Gotta love the builder's wand for stuff like this. Nice. So you ready to test it? And I should label these because I'll forget in about 5 seconds which one is which. But here goes nothing. If we turn this light off, we should have mobs spawning. And we turn the lights back on and the mobs stop spawning. Just remember, these guys are tougher than normal. If we open the door here, they should be able to get out and run around, and oh boy, they hurt. But hey, that's what we're talking about as a mob spawner. Next up, grinders. So funny story, I'm digging out behind my tanks here, and look what I stumble upon. I think this is the spawner I found a long time ago, back like in episode 1. Yeah, nice little spider spawner here. I definitely cleared out this chest. That's interesting. Might just leave that there for fun. Alright, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was building a new tank room, because we need to store all this awesome stuff we're about to get, right? Yeah, we do. So let's see. I need to cover up the ceiling a little bit and take care of what I need to take care of. Let's get a little bit of light in this room. Wouldn't be terrible. And build ourselves a tank. So I'm thinking right here might not be a terrible spot for it to go. And I should have everything I need. I also made my grinders, so we should be ready to make those. That looks good, right? And then I have, actually I'm going to the ceiling one, so let's do that and fill this in. Well, actually, that's fine. I can stay there. And then I'm not sure exactly where this feed is going to come up, but I'm going to try and get it to pump into the back here. So or I could probably pump it into this side. That would probably be ideal. If I can get it there, that would be good. And I'm going to have a valve in the middle down here as well. Ta-da! Nice big tank for mob essence. Cool. Let's jump into bat form and see if we can't find our way down to the lower levels and get a fluid duct running up from where we're going to have the mob grinder things. Back in a minute. So the next thing we have to be concerned about are 3 things, as a matter of fact. Items, liquid, and power. Basically the 3 basic components of any Minecraft system, if you think about it. So let's get down our grinder first. I always forget which way I need to place these guys. Alright, not that way is the way to place them. So we place them here and here. So the grinders have a little hole in the back. That's where the items come out, as we've discovered, right? So we know that part. We also know that we need to pump liquid in out and power in. So if you think about it, we really, in the end, need to have 3 entries and exits of these grinders. So what I'm thinking is to be as safe as possible here, and I've obviously got this little sneaky hidey hole position going on. Let's come over here and grab ourselves a couple of chests. I'm going to do 2 of those, and I've got covers, and I've got chests, and I've got these. There's one more thing I might want, and that's Pneumatic Servos. Let's get downstairs and see what kind of fun we can have putting this together. So, to get this to work, we just need the following stuff. Underneath, I'll pull out liquids. Does that sound like a good... Well, yeah, I think that should be good. Yeah, maybe I want it on top. Maybe top will be liquid, and bottom will be power. Items will definitely be out the back, because that's just the way it is. And what I'm going to actually do for that is have chests. So if I place a chest here, it'll automatically dump the items into the chest. So that's got that part covered. Okay, well, on the top, like I said, we'll probably do liquids. Does that sound like a plan? So what I'll do is I've got some fluid ducts. I got a lot of fluid ducts because I'm going to need a lot of them, because I checked out how far this goes, and it's pretty far from where I was to where I'm going to be. So if we connect these guys up, let's run this a little bit out this way and up here, and I should probably clear out just a little bit more space for me to fly around in. I think if I jump into, what other forms do I have here? Jungle spider might work. Silverfish? That might work too. Can silverfish go underneath the pipes? No. I think there's very few things that actually can sneak underneath a pipe. I'm pretty sure Mistcraft books can, though. So I might want to check out one of those bad boys. Let's see. What other options did I have here that I thought might work? Jungle spider, I think, is smaller. That's pretty small, but still not quite small enough. Alright, so we're going to have to get an even smaller shapeshift form. In fact, why don't I go make one? I'm going to see if I can pull this off. Come on, get out of there. Alright, sometimes you get stuck. You have to be careful. Alright, let's see about getting ourselves a better shapeshift form. If I were to run over here... Can I make one real quick? I should just need the following. If I get this and this... Because if you think about it, these things are actually entities, believe it or not. So when you kill one, you get it as a morph. It's a little silly, but it works. So let's jump into that form. And I'll favorite if this works. Oh, you know what? This might be the version of morph where the link book's morph isn't working right. Alright. We'll have to wait until we get a new version of morph on here because they don't like to work too well. So I'm basically going to run fluid ducts up to this tank right here. There we go. Cool. So that's the fluid ducts part. That works well. We've got items going into chests for now. We're also going to want some power. So we're going to want some redstone energy conduits. So let's run this through this wall. Let's see. We'll just head off in this direction until we feel like we've gone far enough, and almost. There we go. We're just going to need to set this guy to output power on this side, and then we can run the power straight along to here. Come on now. And I should probably be doing this. Yeah, let's bring this one level down. So I'll be back in a minute after I run these again. Alright, so if we take a look here, we should see that we've got the ability to pull liquids out. We'll do that. I'm not sure if I need pneumatic servos. I kind of forget from earlier if I needed them or not. We can deposit some of this junk that we don't need in our inventory real quick. Get rid of you, and you. And I don't need glowstone anymore either. Those were for the item ducts. So we've got these guys covered, and then speaking of covers, we'll cover this thing up. Boom, boom. Looking good. So the final piece of this puzzle are the item ducts, which are going to run along the outside here. So these are definitely going to need pneumatic servos or a lever to activate. So let's go ahead and install a pneumatic servo, and we'll say ignore redstone, which means always running, and we'll set this guy to output. And we'll do the same here. Ignore redstone, always pulling out, and there you go. Alright, so where are we in relation to this room? Oh, that's actually not a bad place to be. Maybe I'll have my barrel set up right here. And then I've got a bunch of barrels set up ready to go. How's that look? Not terrible? I hope so. Debating, is that where I want my barrels? I could always move them upstairs if I decide I need to, but for now this ought to work. So that should be pretty cool. And I'll cover everything up and make it look nice in a minute here, but I really just want to proof of concept this whole setup. So that should be pretty darn close to what I need to get running. So close this thing off and turn off the lights. And what we should see is people dying in there. That is cool. Look at that. Nice. It did reach. I was curious if it would be able to reach like the far corners like that, and it is. So that creeper should also be taken care of at some point. Yeah, look at that. Cool. And if we come into bat form here, we should see some stuff happening. Oh, yeah. See, we're starting to get other items and such. I'm going to need to sort that out a little bit more intelligently, aren't I? Yeah, and let's also, I bet these guys are upside down. Alright, so I need to be a little bit more intelligent with my item collection here, because obviously we don't want to collect shovels and armor in barrels like that. So let's get the lights back on, and I need to organize a little bit. But overall, this looks like it's working. Next question was, do we want to check over here now that everything's dead? We can open the door. Mob essence is not being pulled out, so I will need a couple more pneumatic servos. Let's get that taken care of, and I'll be back in a minute after I figure out how I want to handle things. You know what, I'm probably just going to grab a chest. Let's grab a chest here. Yeah, an iron chest will do for now. I mean, I could always just throw a diamond one down there. It's fine. Pneumatic servo? Cool. Let's organize this a little bit more intelligently. So I'll put the iron chest here with the item inputs in there. And then basically, this should work like that. You don't want to collect, and you don't want to collect. All this miscellaneous junk can go in here. Arrows can go in here, though. That's fine. We'll collect arrows and barrels. Okay, that ought to do. And then, I know I said I was going to be back, but apparently I lied. We'll just set this guy up to ignore redstone, which means it should pull mob essence out. Beautiful. Man, we've got a pretty nice looking room, if I do say so myself. Cover you up. Cover you up. And, alright, I'm going to let this thing run for just a moment. If we really wanted to be fancy, I could make it so that the lights wouldn't turn off if the lever was not closed here, but we'll see. Maybe at some point. For now, I'm going to let things run for a little bit and make sure I have enough barrels for all the stuff I want to collect, and then we'll be back in a minute to see how we're doing with mob essence collection. Ooh, invisible spider, how are you doing? Please kill that thing, please. Enderman, nice, we're getting Enderman. Cool. I was hoping we'd get Enderman spawn, and it does kill them. Perfect. There we do it. I did one little change there. Sometimes, just, you know, a warning for you guys to note this, we can wind up with, oh, we've got some light mages spawning in there. I don't know how much I like that. So if they attack the creepers, bad things can happen. Gonna have to keep an eye on that. Long story short, with, well, that's kind of cool though. It is killing everything. We'll see how things go. If those light mages attack the creepers might go blow up on them, and then that would be bad. But microblocks can sometimes let light through. So, in fact, I don't know why some light just showed up in there. But there was light in there a minute ago, you probably noticed. That should be all resolved now. The reason for that was I had a couple torches behind the walls. I removed the torches, and now we're in good shape. So, we're getting a little bit of light bleed through in there. I don't know what that's about, but I'm not going to worry about it. Lights on, please. Kill that creeper, and then we're going to see how we're making out. So we're getting a lot of cool stuff. I need a string barrel, so I definitely need more barrels than I have. Well, not necessarily, because I've got 2 bone barrels. But we're definitely going to need a string barrel. Neat. We're getting some pretty cool stuff here. Alright, back in a minute. And we can also see that we're slowly but surely getting some mob essence in here, so that's kind of cool as well. So we're going to let this thing run between this episode and next. I need another barrel at least for ender pearls, and I feel like that might be about all I need. So I'm going to let this thing run for a little bit here. I definitely have to put some signs up. I'll do that now. And for now, Direwolf20 signing off. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll be back next time to check out how our mob spawner progress has gone. And after that, we'll probably take a look at getting some villager spawning going on and looking about farming some emeralds. So I'm pretty sure this was the lights button. Like I said, I always forget within a minute which one we want to do here. Door. And like I said, I'm a little nervous. See, that mana creeper blew up. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If things get, you know, dicey, we'll have to do something to ensure that creeper explosions don't become too big of a problem. All right, guys, take it easy.